Among the several attributes and factors NBA scouts look at when considering a prospect, it's probably fair to assume that their ability to score the ball is one that ranks pretty high on that list. How good can a player simply put the ball in the basket when needed and lead the team to the promised land, feel me? Especially when it comes to the number one pick. For reference, the last 5 number one picks have all averaged 20 points or more at least once in their very young NBA careers. Even Wemby, who obviously just finished his rookie season. So yeah, in this video, we're going to be grading the scoring ability of lottery prospects who have already shown they've got some solid offense. And by the end of this video, we'll know who the best scorer in this upcoming draft is. Now, when coming up with these grades, I'm keeping it pretty simple, not gonna lie. Taking into consideration their performances, can they score at all 3 levels, you know, the 3, mid-range, painted area, does their play style translate well to the league, and so on. So yeah, y'all go ahead and let me know in the comments, man. Who do you think is this draft's best scorer? How do you feel about this draft in general? Do you believe it's weak? That's the popular opinion going around. Why not? And yeah, man, really quick before I go any further, what's up YouTube? Plug Speaks. Back with another video. If you're new, first of all, welcome. Go ahead and sub. Also like the video if you enjoy. I upload quality basketball content. And we're on the grind for 5K, so I'd most definitely appreciate it. I appreciate every single viewer. But back to the video. Alright, so beginning with Alex Sarr. If you're unfamiliar with him, he's a 7'1" center from France, projected to damn near go number 1. I haven't seen many mock drafts that got him anywhere outside the top 3. I mean, that says a lot by itself. But yeah, he most recently played in the NBL for the Perth Wildcats. Now, if we judged him solely on his numbers, he wouldn't look very impressive. In the past NBL season, he put up an average of just 10 points a game and shot 52% from the field and 30% from 3. None crazy. However, with context, he looks a lot better. For one, he only averaged 17 minutes per game, so he was fairly efficient in his minutes, you know, did what he could with what he had, and he deserves credit for that. And then beyond that, Sarr scores in a lot of the ways you would expect for a player his size. You know, dunks, putbacks, lays, he can't get enough of them. But he also possesses some post moves and often uses a spin move and a fadeaway when posting up. So he does have some type of mid-range ability. However, in the same breath, to be completely honest, there's still a lot more development to be had for him on offense. His outside shot could use some work in addition to his perimeter game in general. So yeah, overall, based on the solid body of work he's shown, his scoring ability gets a C+, you know, slightly above average. Let me know what y'all think. Next, we got Sheppard, a 6'3" shooting guard out of Kentucky who ESPN projects to be an easy top 10 lottery pick. And let me tell you, this man scores the ball with ease, primarily because he was one of the best shooters in college this past season. In the 33 games he played at Kentucky, he averaged just under 13 points on just 8 shot attempts per game, while shooting over 50% from the field and over 50% from 3. That's crazy. I mean, if I had to give him an NBA comparison, one of the first players that comes to mind is the now retired JJ Redick. And that almost feels racially motivated, but it's like, come on now. When watching him play, that's his bread and butter. He has a great pull-up game, both from 3 and in the mid-range, and although he doesn't drive a majority of the time, and it would have been nice to see more of that, he did take it to the cup sometimes during the season, and he looked good while doing it. On top of that, his vertical leap at the NBA Combine was 40 inches. 42 inches to be exact. And when explaining himself afterward, all he had to say was that he does a little arm trick. I mean, whenever you come across people like that, they're clearly cut from a different cloth. I mean, what are you saying? So yeah, with all that being said, he gets an A from me for his scoring ability. Let me know what y'all think. Next, we got Purdue's Zack Edey, a 7-foot center who most mock drafts project to go in the middle of the first round, and some got him in the lottery. And he's someone who I'm sure everyone is familiar with at this point. Between the run he had in the recent NCAA tournament and the noise he's made for himself over the years, being that he's now a senior, he's done great for himself. He wasn't always a big name, and he's definitely built his name up. However, He doesn't impress me offensively, which may seem odd considering that he averaged a whopping 25 points per game on great efficiency at Purdue. However, if you've watched him play, then you know his game is just really basic and simple. Now, of course, simple isn't always a bad thing. You could be simple and be getting buckets like Tim Duncan. However, Zack Edey is no Tim Duncan. If you watched him play, you've probably noticed his game appears like someone who mastered college basketball rather than someone with a lot of NBA skills and just ready to go pro. His post game is limited and many of his buckets came off layups and dunks over smaller players. Trust me, just go watch his highlights versus UConn in the championship game. He had like 40 points and like 10 rebounds. He had a crazy game. Respectfully, half of those buckets are not going like that in the NBA. So yeah, you combine that with the fact that he doesn't really have a mid-range game, and although he shot 50% from deep, that 3-point percentage came off just 2 attempted threes the entire season, which is it's not a real sample size. So with all that being said, he gets a C-. It may sound harsh, but definitely let me know what y'all think. Next, we got Duke 6'3" Jared McCain, someone who is easily one of the best freshman scorers in college basketball this past season. He had 3 30-point plus performances this past season, and if y'all know anything about college hoops, 30 points is a lot. But yeah, the thing that makes Jared special is how efficient he is and how creative he is, the ability to make tough shots. Basically everything NBA scouts like to hear when they're looking for a scorer. Now this past season he averaged just under 15 points on 46% shooting from the field and 41% shooting from 3. He can pull up from really deep, he can dice and slice up the defense within the perimeter. Essentially the whole package, bro. He nice. So yeah, I could go on and on, but in short, offensively he's gifted and I give him an A. Let me know what y'all think. But yeah, next up we got USC's Isaiah Collier, a 6'5" guard who was at one point, I kid y'all not, projected to be the first pick in this upcoming draft. I mean, if I'm being blatantly honest with y'all, I think that's the reason I can't take this draft seriously, because I've seen plenty of articles making a case for Isaiah to go number 1, and then after a minor hand injury, a lot of mock drafts and articles don't bump them down to barely being top 10. Some got him in the middle of the first round. I can't explain it. But getting back to the scoring, he's a great scorer. You know, he averaged 16 points this past season, shooting 49% from the field and 34% from 3. Now, Isaiah Collier is the type of scorer that head down, driving all the way to the basket. His first step is real nice. He doesn't struggle to blow by defenders, and once he gets to that cup, sayonara, it's either a bucket or he's getting fouled. Even against those tall defenders, he gets creative, really acrobatic with it, Kyrie-like at times with those finishes. So yeah, overall I give him a B on the dot, because I said all those great things, but in the same breath, his outside shot needs work. He shot 67% on free throws, which actually hurts him because he's really physical and he often draws fouls. So yeah, everything considered, cool scorer, great potential. I give him a B. Next, we've got Kentucky's 6'3" Rob Dillingham. And if you ain't heard of him, you've been in hiding. Please let me know where to go when I don't want no one to find me, because, I mean, it's just no way. You see, Rob is someone who's had a lot of buzz around his name this past college basketball season because his best attribute is indeed the fact that he's a bucket. At Kentucky, he averaged 15 points, shooting 48% from the field and 44% from 3. And he's the definition of a microwave scorer. Don't let him get hot, because anything he throws up is going in, whether it be off a deep three-pointer, off a step back, off a hesitation to the mid-range, hesitation to the cup. He can get explosive at times. He has those acrobatic creative finishes. He's a tough shot maker, and just a lot of good things. I ain't even trying to overdo it, but we've got to highlight and give praise where it's due when someone's able to score the way he does on his efficiency. I mean, we're talking about 48% from the field, 44% from 3. That's incredible. Now, the only caveat to him and really any great scorer is the fact that they believe they can make anything. I'm sure he thinks any shots he put up going in. So the shot selection, it gets kind of ridiculous at times. But still, even with that minor flaw, overall, y'all are not surprised. He's the best scorer in this upcoming draft, and he gets an easy A. Again, flying with flying colors. These boys is scholars. But anyway, with that being said, that pretty much makes up the main, most impressive scorers that also happen to be lottery picks and lottery talents. Now, I could make a part 2 to this, to be honest. honest, and include guys like Zaccharie Risacher, or is it Risacher? Maybe Jacoby Walter, Cody Williams, Ron Holland, Dalton Negg. I don't know, it's a lot of guys, but I couldn't put them all in one video and continue to be as detailed as I wanted to be. It was just gonna be too long. But yeah, if you enjoyed this, let me know. I will definitely make a part 2. And yeah, let me know y'all thoughts about the grades. Do we need a new rubric? Was this controversial? Why or why not? And man, I appreciate y'all watching. Like the sub, share it, sub if new, all of that. I will see y'all on the next one, and I'm out.